In today's video we are going to remove the lacquer on this body that I'm holding right here, and there are a lot of reasons why you would want to remove the lacquer on a body, and if you have any you can write them below because I'm only doing this for fun. Hey, I suppose that's a reason. It's gonna be easy to do if you do it the right way, and here are a couple of tools that I think you could use to help you out. First of all, you need a heat gun. They look something like this. They might be different colors, but don't let that fool you. All they do is shoot warm air that is really hot. So be careful because you can burn yourself. And that's not a good idea. The burning part, I mean. Now you need a tool to scrape the lacquer off with once you've heated it up. And I usually like to use a razor blade or a knife, but a spatula that you use in your woodworking to fill holes in the walls and stuff like that will also work great. I don't use it as often, but we're gonna do it in this video today so that you can see, hopefully, a little bit of what goes into it. The best part about doing this is how satisfying it is, and I hope I'm gonna be able to show you just how fun it actually is, because it's one of those, you know, weird things, you know, almost like, you know, how some people like popping pimples or pulling out hairs, or, you know, just that satisfying feeling you get from moving the lacquer. Yeah, so we're gonna jump into it and just remove the lacquer over the entire body, and there is a little bit of finessing here and there, but we're gonna start off easy with the top of the guitar. I've clamped the body down and it's held in place. If you have somewhere where the body is damaged like this, it's a perfect place to start because it's easier to get in. If you don't, I'm gonna show you how to do it anyway, so don't worry. The first thing we need to do now is just heat up the lacquer, and whatever you do, don't stand still like this, always keep it moving so that everything is being heated up and you're not burning the lacquer. You don't want to burn it, you just want to make it soften up so that it starts to rise off the body. Sometimes the lacquer will pop up like this instead. It's not what we want, but it's okay here now that we start, but that's not what we want. We want a more satisfying peel than that. So, got a little bit of it wrong there, but it's good to see that too. And this is sort of the reason why I don't like using this, because you can see it's a little bit flimsy. There we go, I'm getting a nice chunk out like that. And once you feel like it's starting to get a little bit hard to remove, you need to apply more heat. But we can also just switch. And when you come to an edge, you get in under and you flick it up, because you don't want to accidentally dig in with your sharp knife into the side. And it feels very buttery almost, if that's a good way to explain it. It's soft. I mean, it's very warm, so you can burn yourself by touching the lacquer. That's the way we want it to look, just lifting off basically and just being very nice and smooth. I personally think it's easier with a razor blade to just get in and break it off and, you know, peel it. But one thing that is, you know, a negative on that is that you can easily burn yourself because you're working with such a tiny tool. Be aware of that when you decide how you want to go about this. But like getting really close up to the body like this and press it in and flick it up it's easiest with a razor blade. But yeah, you will heat up the razor blade as well when you move it like this, so a combination of all different tools is maybe the absolutely best way to do this. Okay, so here is the body right now, and I've done the front. We have some issues, like right here. There is some sort of filler thing they've done, probably because they did something wrong with the body. And if you're going to do something with this, show the wood grain or something. I would say the best thing to do is just some sort of arm carve here or something to hide that. I have a bunch of small dings and scratches, but I think most of them will disappear once I sand the body. And yeah, here is the one that is a little bit worse, and here is some tear out that was really annoying that happened. And if you want to avoid that, you just have to be more careful than what I was, and you know, don't do as sloppy work as me. Let's move on to the back, and I'll show you how to start if you don't have any cracked edge. We do have a little bit of a cracked edge there, but we'll pretend like that's not there, and we'll do it here, where it's mostly okay-ish. Okay, so we're gonna work right here. And so I'm just gonna clamp the body with this clamp here. I want to also say before I continue, which I forgot to say before, don't forget to wear eye protection, because it's really annoying if you flicker, you know, a sharp piece of lacquer like this into your eye. So yeah, we start off with heating the lacquer in this area here, and then we just come in and press in the knife, and we just get in there. Something like that. And then we can start removing all the lacquer, just like so. And so you just come in straight at it. You don't bend it in, or you know, crack it in or flick it or anything. You just go in almost like a plane coming in for landing. Sorry if that's a very bad analogy, but it's the best I have for you. Just break away the edge like this, and be careful because you will have your fingers here, and you don't want to, you know, fly away with the knife like that. So yeah, try to be careful if you can. And now you can see how I'm starting to get in under the lacquer. And there is two layers. You can see this grayish thing and then the wood here, and that's the grain filler over. And you decide for yourself how far down you want to go. The satisfying part is removing the upper layer, the black one. But if you're going to do something else that is maybe like carving the wood or something, you need to get past the second stage as well. Keep that in mind. But as you can see, it takes a little bit of time. It does. I'm not gonna pretend like it doesn't, but it goes fairly quick, and it's also kind of fun. So, and when it starts to flicker away, you know, like this, and it's just small pieces that break in a hard kind of way, you need to just, and you can see, come in with a knife and it just peels it off. And when it does that, it's super satisfying. And if you get small little tear outs of wood, like you maybe saw that I just got, don't freak out. They will, most of them will just disappear in the sanding process because, you know, it's such a very thin piece. And if you feel like you're starting to dig in, just pull it out, and then you can either put on some super glue or wood glue and just press it back in place. Okay, so now we have the front and the back. And the next thing we have to do is to start removing the sides. And it can be a little bit fiddly to get in and get around. And especially here and here and here are the areas where you're gonna dig in and make mistakes. So you have to be extra careful and take your time and really do your best to just take away small pieces at a time and yeah, work your way in basically. So I'm gonna start up here and show you a little bit of that, and hopefully it will be good. So we start up by heating up the body, and I'm gonna work from this side here, or at least I'm gonna try, but it might be hard to show you because this will be in the way, but I want to work from this side and I'm left-handed, so yeah, let's just see what happens. So we heat up the lacquer just a little bit, and then we come in from the side and we try to just lift it up the tip of our knife. And as you can see, it's rather fiddly. You have to just break away tiny pieces at the time. And try to break them away like that and not like that, because if you break it that way it might go into the wood. But if you go that way it won't, because it's straight. But this is bent or curved. I hope that makes sense. And obviously put these back on, because don't be stupid. And you can see there how I'm starting to move in here. And it will be easier on the more flatter side, but just in the grooves, or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And we'll just heat this area up again. And then you just have to work your way down and just try to remove as much of the lacquer as you can. And it's a little bit fiddly because it's hard to find a way to hold the body, and it's really warm, and it's a very warm day today as well, so I'm starting to be a little overheated. Just slowly but surely we're chipping away at the side. It's a pretty slow process, but I do think it's better than just sanding, because it will clog up your machine and it will take even longer. But the sides can be a little bit tedious. But after a while, you will get into it and you will feel like, ah, it's not that bad. You can get a little slow at times and feel like, ah, will I ever be done? And I would say that that's when you need to take a pause and, you know, I don't know, maybe do something else for a little bit. And once I'm done with this, I'm just gonna give it a light sanding and we'll take a look at all of it together and just see what it looks like. And as you can see, it really does go fairly quickly. It takes a little bit longer for me because I have to think a little bit about camera angles and stuff like that and work in a way that I find a little bit odd. I've started the cut with taking off my glasses twice now, and super silly and stupid. Anyway, here's the body, and yeah, the sides are all nice. They're not perfect, but at this stage they don't need to be. And yeah, if you need them to be more perfect, it's gonna take more time, and you're gonna have to be more careful than I am at this particular moment. I hope you got the information you wanted about how to remove the lacquer of a body. And if you have any questions, you can talk to me in the comments below. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe if you want to. Why is it don't forget to subscribe? Like you wouldn't know? Anyway, sorry. Please subscribe if you don't... damn it, now I screwed myself up. You know what to do, and I appreciate if you do it. And yeah, like the video if you like it, and don't forget to stay awesome and cool, and I'll see you in another video. And yeah, go and remove the lacquer off a guitar. You're watching this because you want to do it, so do it. It might have seemed in the video like it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, but it's not that much work and it doesn't take that much of a time. It takes more time in the beginning, but once you get a hang of it and you start to feel how the lacquer is supposed to feel to be easy to remove, it will go super quickly. So yeah, here's a tiny pedal.